What if the person everyone ignored today became the leader everyone admired tomorrow? Imagine spending years sweeping floors, cleaning hallways, and being overlooked by almost everyone around you. Now imagine that same person walking into the office one day, not as an employee, but as the CEO. This isn't a fantasy. It's a powerful story about determination, resilience, and a mindset that can transform an ordinary life into an extraordinary success. Stay with us, because by the end of this story, you may never look at your own potential the same way again. Welcome back to the channel My Better Path, where we share inspiring stories, life-changing lessons, and powerful journeys that motivate you to become the best version of yourself. Janitor unlocked the doors of a large corporate building. While most people were still asleep, he was already at work, sweeping floors, emptying trash bins, and cleaning offices that belonged to people whose lives seemed far beyond his reach. He came from a poor family, money was always tight, opportunities were rare, many people believed that his future had already been decided. But there was one thing nobody knew. Every day, as he cleaned the executive floor, he would stop for a moment and look through the glass walls of the company's boardroom. Inside, important decisions were made. Successful people sat around a long table discussing ideas that shaped the future of the company. And every time he looked at that room, he imagined himself sitting there, not as a janitor, as a leader. One afternoon, he shared his dream with a coworker. "One day, I'm going to sit in that boardroom." The coworker laughed. "Be realistic," he said. "People like us don't end up in places like that." The words hurt, but instead of giving up, the young janitor made a decision. He would not allow other people's limits to become his own. Every night after work, while others relaxed or watched television, he studied. He borrowed books from libraries. He listened to business lectures. He learned about leadership, communication, management, and personal development. Some nights he was exhausted. Some nights he fell asleep with a book in his hands. But he kept going, day after day, week after week, year after year. He knew something powerful. Small improvements, repeated consistently, can create extraordinary results. As time passed, he began applying for better positions within the company. His first application was rejected, then another and another. Each rejection felt like a door closing in his face. Friends told him to stop trying. Family members advised him to be satisfied with what he already had, but every setback only strengthened his determination. He understood that failure is part of success, so he continued learning, improving, and believing. Then one day, something unexpected happened. The company faced a serious operational problem. Departments were struggling. Efficiency was dropping. Management couldn't find a solution. The janitor had been quietly observing the company for years. He noticed patterns that others had missed. Using everything he had learned through his self-education, he developed a simple but effective proposal. Most people ignored him. After all, what could a janitor possibly know about business? But eventually, someone decided to listen. His idea worked. The company saved significant time and resources. For the first time, executives began to see him differently, not as a janitor, as someone with potential. Soon, he was offered an opportunity to join an entry-level office role. Many people would have celebrated and stopped there, but he didn't. He kept learning, kept growing, kept pushing himself beyond his comfort zone. Years passed. He earned promotions, built trust, developed leadership skills, solved problems, inspired teams, and every time he reached a new level, he remembered where he started. The cleaning cart, the empty hallways, the early mornings, the dream that everyone laughed at. Then came the day he never forgot. The company announced its new CEO. Employees gathered to hear the news. Whispers filled the room. People wondered who had been chosen. When the name was announced, silence swept across the crowd, because standing before them was the same man who had once cleaned the floors, the same man who had emptied trash bins, the same man who had dared to dream beyond his circumstances. He walked into the boardroom, not carrying cleaning supplies, not delivering coffee, but leading the company. The dream that once seemed impossible had become reality. Later that evening, he walked through the building alone. He stopped beside the small janitor's closet where his journey had begun. He looked around and smiled. Then he said something that everyone should remember. Your starting point does not determine your destination. Success isn't reserved for the lucky. It isn't reserved for the wealthy. It isn't reserved for those who begin with advantages. Success belongs to those who refuse to quit, to those who keep learning when nobody is watching, to those who keep moving when progress feels invisible, to those who believe in their dreams long before anyone else does. Because where you are today is only one chapter of your story, not the ending. The next chapter is waiting to be written, and it starts with the decision you make today. Never let your current position define your future. The distance between a dream and reality is built one determined day at a time.